Good evening. Welcome back to Rogue Lords. We're gonna go to this elite combat that technically has a negative threat for us. But in our case, this is pretty positive. Because we have a relic that uses exactly that to its advantage. Also, we gain +2 AP during combats. I do think that would mean every single turn for this one combat. Each time a combatant suffers HP, they receive polarized HP. What does that mean? Polarized SP. I do not know what that means in this case. First, let's go with sharpening. That recharge skills, which are now... Oh, that's interesting. Which are now back, and since it's recharged, he gains more attack. Now, Bloody Mary is quite strong right now. Doubles the amount of spiritual damage suffered. Oh, so if I do spiritual damage, it's the same where they would take something else. Interesting. Now, let's think. We're just gonna recharge, gain a ton more damage.
What game are we playing?
Do we? I don't think we do. Everyone has vampirism on them right now. So I will play Bite, but I think we're just gonna go for Bleeding Heart and Bite. Because that was a lot of damage in one turn. What is this? Decomposition. At the beginning and end of the turn, lose 4 to 10 HP. I don't like that one bit. Now, let's think about this. First and foremost, start with Provocation to gain Shell. We could just inflict damage to both, and I think that's what we're gonna do. More vampirism. And just go with the Lunatic Strike on this one. Double the damage. Next turn, she will be gone. And the next turn, we can just recharge everything and gain a lot of HP back. I didn't mean get HP back, but get a lot of bonus damage.
What game are we playing?
Alright, how about this?
I'm parched.
Now we're rally.
Your end is near.
Deal more damage. Deal even more damage.
Let's get down to business.
And maybe
The dice were loaded from the start.
give our Headless Horseman enough HP. Alright. This one will be applying a bonus, which means it won't be. They won't be attacking him. Thanks to our relic, we still have one turn of Shell. which doesn't really matter since this one won't attack us this turn. What will we do? We're gonna apply 3 sharpening. That recharges. With that, we gain more attack. And with this attack, we're just gonna use our ability. Thorns. Thorns is bad for us. Every time we attack, or every time we deal damage, we lose health. How much would that cost us? Way too much. I see. But then again, what if we had thorns? Okay, let me think about this.
What game are we playing?
We're gonna do this. This didn't do any damage. We're gonna place a mirror, recharging. Wait, let me see. Each time the user uses his recharge. Okay, so her recharge doesn't do anything for him. With this, we're gonna reduce her attack even more.
I'm listening, Master.
We could
Who should I kill?
just go for on guard in order to gain take way less damage. And now we're just gonna attack. Wait, no we won't because of thorns. What we can do though is put sharpening on Bloody Mary. Now, that's a lot of damage for everyone. And I'm not happy about it.
Like this situation.
Let's see how much that would cost us. No. Why? Wait. Why would we switch that? I do not understand why we would switch. Alright, let's see. Well,
Something done right. Do it yourself.
technically it's not
The only limit
a bad thing.
is my imagination.
Because with this, we have the thorns, so we can attack her. We can attack her, no problem. Bloody Mary gets a lot of health back. We're gonna rally. Give him vampirism. Use a bleeding heart, which attacks twice now, thanks to him being vulnerable. Bite her to make her vulnerable. And use bleeding heart again.
Do not submit.
And with that, we destroyed another elite fight.
A fragment of power for my disciples.
Apply 1 dodge, I don't want that. Charge. This though would be a good idea because I never used the Headless Horseman's recharge skill. If I remember correctly, it only costs 1 AP, that's the bonus, but it only recharges his skills and that's it. If none of the disciples recharge for 1 turn, all the disciples earn +2 damage. Let's use this. Because every now and then we just don't recharge anyway, in order to then recharge the next turn for Dracula to gain a lot of damage. That sounds interesting.
My disciples will have to fix that. My disciples find the abandoned farm. There, using their own blood, They draw a network of symbols on the floor. When they have finished, they honor my name and recite the words of incantation. The puppet suddenly burst into flames, a long tongue of brown flame rising from the small wooden body without damaging a thing. In the distance, a cry rings out. We are close to making Caleb slightly more human, slightly more mortal. My disciples leave to meet up with the priest in the town of New Florentine. My influence is growing.
Discover a trait, or we'll earn a second random trait. That is useful. This time we're gonna go for the Styx Fountain because our Devil's Essence runs
Many humans lie
dangerously
dead
low.
among the roots of these trees. I quite like this place. The waters of the Styx are...
I would love to have a relic that increases the essence gained. Alright, here we'll gain a second random trait. But let's see, Ruse and Scare. Ruse, Stealth, Maximum Health Points, that would be useful. Maximum health points and physical damage, that would be very useful, because technically the Headless Horseman is supposed to be our tank.
What are my orders?
So I don't even care what is used in this. We're gonna use him anyway. Half buried at the foot of a tree, your disciples discover the bones of an unnatural creature. You recognize it. This beast is one of your creations. You dispatched it to lay waste to the region before your exile. After all these years, the demon hunters finally defeated it. But even that, it can still prove useful. It's time to revive the nightmare. The beast's bones still exude power. Headless Horseman can harness that power and put it to new use. Invoke the soul of the beast, animate the skeleton and send it to attack the demon hunters, or extract the power contained in the bones.
I don't like this situation.
Let's animate the skeleton.
Give the orders, I carry them out.
Headless Horseman animates the beast's skeleton and sends it to track the demon hunters. Its soul may have moved on to other realms, but its bones still remember who dealt it the final blows.
Defile. I corrupt. I pervert.
Maximum Essence, a random trait. Each skill has a 10 to 70% discount. Interesting.
Scream as...
Very interesting.
Not my head, but it'll do.
And we gain a second thing,
But it'll do.
plus 4 maximum health points. I kinda like that. Alright, let's see. I would love this one. And I think I do have a plan. We're gonna go for the Styx Fountain.
Their time is counted.
Alright.
I hear the murmurs of the trees. They're fed up with humans. Let us answer their prayers. Ah, the Styx.
Our Diabolic Essence is almost completely filled. And now we could not get to this one.
Let's get down to business.
But let's see. For 6,
My power is absolute.
we're gonna take a demonic portal. Oh. First, let's go to this event. Physical damage, spiritual points, more physical damage. Stealth, scare, occultism, temptation, ruse, everything. I like that.
What are my orders?
That one is interesting. A throng of inquisitors and priestesses carrying sealed chests converge toward the Whispering Cemetery's sanctuary. These strong boxes intrigue you. You feel magic pulsating inside. Unfortunately, their carriers deposit them in the depths of the sanctuary, which is heavily guarded. Headless Horseman speculates on the best way to exterminate the Sanctua Lumen fanatics. Force the passage or discreetly kill the guards.
Business.
I don't like using this much essence, but this one is too useful not to do it. Headless Horseman slinks through the shadows and eliminates the sanctuary guards one by one. The coast is clear for your disciples. Inside, your disciples discover a strange crypt full of alchemical paraphernalia, traces of rituals and spellbooks. In the middle of all this are the chests. They are filled with human hearts that radiate a strong magical aura. Upon closer examination, your disciples discover that they were taken from the bodies of White Plague victims. So, the good pupils of the Sanctua Lumen, the pupils of light, in the name of the good, just have boxes full of human hearts. Interesting. This disease leaves the bodies completely unspoiled by decomposition. The Sanctua Lumen uses their hearts to study the phenomenon and try to control it. Fortunately, they aren't anywhere near success. Headless Horseman would like to get his hands on their research to corrupt it, but it might be better to just destroy it. Destroy the Sanctua Lumen's research, steal the magic contained in the hearts, or turn the research to your advantage.
It's high time I interfered.
Is it worth it? Sure.
Dice were loaded from the start.
Why not?
The orders? I carry them out.
By adapting the Sanctua Lumen's research, Headless Horseman succeeds in creating a related substance that multiplies his strength.
I am pleased
Oh.
with these offerings. Take them.
We're gonna go for another burst of anger, because if we find a third one, it will be increased. Stealth, scare, physical damage,
Not my head, but
and
it'll do.
2 to everything on the social side. I quite like that. Now let's go to the Grim Reaper, where we'll have
Lord of Souls finally deigns to
cheaper stuff.
don't make him wait.
Each time the holder receives healing, all disciples gain +1 physical damage. In combination with vampirism, that is amazing. Battle plans are also great, but I think we don't need them right now. Deduct 1 charge from the target's status is applied to depression. Inflict SP and apply burn, we don't need that. We're gonna buy this one though. Because although we have it once, this one is the stronger version. It reduces the impending attack by 4, not only by 2. And you know what, since it only costs 10 souls, let's get another slash, in case we find one more later on. Alright. Double the diabolic essence cost of the devil's powers.
It's high time I interfered.
How much would it cost to just switch over? 6. The thing is, it's an event, so we would get... Let's go to the event. Because although
Hole isn't worthy of my presence.
it will double the cost, which we hate. Wait. That would be for both, right? Let's start. Occultism and Temptation. We're gonna go for the Headless Horseman.
What are my orders?
Because of his omnipotence trait, he's just better with everything. You find a statue of Van Helsing on the side of the road. It was erected to remind travelers that these roads are safe and that you are nothing more than a fading memory. This affront to your power must disappear. A sculptor is doing maintenance work at the foot of the statue. Headless Horseman could use him to deform it. Crucify the sculpture on his statue, bring the statue to life, or make the sculpture your servant.
I don't like this situation. Let's change it.
No. Let's use the one that just works. Headless Horseman grabs the sculpture and nails him to Van Helsing's statue. With the mortal sobbing and moaning in his arms, the statue's arrogant pose sends a much more sinister message, better suited to your taste.
Rage.
After sacrificing a skill, you discover another with higher rarity. Interesting. Upon arrival in this zone, you receive 60 souls. Also interesting, but it's an elite. No essence is consumed for the first use of the devil's power. Very interesting.
Scream as loud
Alright, and with that, let's take a look
My head, but it'll
at the bonus. Occultism. Maximum health points, maximum spiritual points. That would be amazing. Physical damage, maximum health points. That would also be great. None of them are particularly good in occultism.
At your service,
Let's go for Dracula. I think the threat is still there, so the devil's power is still doubled in price. When your disciples enter the walls of Pyrestone, the streets are strangely quiet, as if the city was deserted. You find the villagers laying about in the main square in a deep sleep, or that's what it looks like, until your disciples get close and realize that none of them are breathing. Dracula wants to contact the spirits of the dead and make them answer his questions.
Let's get down to business.
No, thank you. Let's capture the souls of the dead. You don't care about human problems. The only thing you're interested in is what happens to their souls when they die. And all these human souls have been served up to you on a platter. You just have to scoop them up and boost their powers.
Fresh soul.
I'll take it.
knowledge is power.
Some more health in general for Dracula. Don't mind if I do. We are close to the end of this chapter.
My disciples arrive in the town of New Florentine, where they have planned to trap Caleb. The priest, visible to all in the middle of the main street, is trembling like a leaf. When Caleb appears, he collapses to the ground, all his courage having taken flight. Fortunately, Caleb does not yet know fear, and he approaches the cleric, intrigued. At that instant, my disciples destroy the cursed puppet. The priest dies instantly, and his soul leaves his body to seek shelter in that of Caleb. The latter utters a howl of anger and runs off, henceforth unable to use the claw of Geryon.
Good.
Soon the humans will all bow down before me.
Receive 60 souls, discover a trait, or receive 10 essence and maximum essence.
Scream as loud as you and to think that such a powerful relic was hidden in this rat hole.
Whenever you are about to suffer damage expected to deal the final blow to the devil, he becomes invulnerable until the start of the next turn. So basically one failsafe. There are 10 skills played. The last disciple to have played receives 1 superpower, which can be useful in longer fights, or the holder begins the combat with 9 split spirit, transforms the HP losses suffered and inflicted into SP. Let's go with the black magic accumulator. It's not immediately useful, but in the end it can come through. 60 souls, discover a trait, which is just another trait after the event, or 10 essence and maximum essence. That sounds good. But I think, since we are close to the end, we're gonna end it for now. And I'll see you tomorrow for the final chapter of this story. I bid you farewell.